Unit 4. Analysis. Nothing about an organization's strategy or business model is sacrosanct, but there must be a cutting point between principles and values and everything else. They represent precious, freestanding assets that must be independent of strategy. They provide continuity and identity when everything else is expendable. They represent the core element of the culture and the unchanging soul of the organization. Cases in which leaders have successfully remodeled an entire enterprise represent organizational change in its comprehensive and supreme category. We learn from these cases that retaining principles and values during the process of change is not only possible but necessary to provide an anchor. Ironically, perhaps, organizations with the strongest principles and values often have the highest adaptive capacity because people attach themselves to them and understand that everything else is on the table. If you want to keep your promises, burn the house when it's time to reinvent the company, but save the nails. Practice. Number 1. There is something in human nature that prompts us to think of our actions, as well as our feelings, as though they were the distinctive issue of something inside us, something uniquely ours. Some are, but most of the actions and feelings that help us enter into working relations with fellow members of the world are not all that private. They are, in fact, performances we execute in acceptably close conformity to widely accepted social rules. These rules are learned and held by us in such an easy way that we indulge in conceit, that they are our own brilliant accomplishments. We think of them as though they were the inventions of our own utterly original psychic lives, when most of them are as familiar to others as they are to us. Social things are quite simply social. Number 2. Cooked food does many familiar things. It makes our food safer, creates delicious tastes, and reduces the risk of going bad. Heating can allow us to open, cut, or mash tough foods. But none of these advantages is as important as a little appreciated aspect. Cooking increases the amount of energy our bodies obtain from our food. The extra energy gave the first cooks biological advantages. They survived and reproduced better than before. Their genes spread. Their bodies responded by biologically adapting to cooked food, shaped by natural selection to take maximum advantage of the new diet. There were changes in anatomy, physiology, ecology, life history, psychology, and society. Fossil evidence indicates that this dependence arose not just some tens of thousands of years ago, but right back at the beginning of our time on Earth, at the start of human evolution. We should indeed pin our humanity on cooks. Number 3. Radio provided the driving force to solidify the era of patronage. However, the invention that soon followed remains to this day the most significant communication medium that has influenced and aided the development of sports. Who knew what sportscaster Bill Stern questioned and introduced in 1939 would enhance the growth and development of sports marketing practices for decades? The display platform, the television, though airing two average baseball teams battling for fourth place, provided an incredibly formidable and profitable union between sports and the American public. The television provided a means for sports organizations to expand their market presence and a unique opportunity for marketers to engage their publics. The notion of a picture being worth 1,000 words became a reality with the invention and its intervention in presentation of sports.